he might not be able to keep up with your appetite. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Fash. If it's your first time, can you please tell this man to stop interrupting me? This is the second time I have to do my intro. Can you please stop interrupting me? Can you please, let go of me for just 30 minutes? Can you do without me for just 30 minutes, please? Can you just do without me? Like, can you? Hey, I was put this headphone. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Okay, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, to all expectant mothers, to all angel moms, to all TTC moms, to all super moms out there. You guys are amazing. So yes, so today I want to do a video that has been highly requested. Since I did a video about dating older men, I've had consistent questions about, oh, he's 20 years older than me, what do you think? He's 10 years older than me, should I? He's 15 years older than me, should I date? He's unique, hey God, my DMs are filled with messages like that. So I decided to do a video that addresses this once and for all. Okay, so I've done like a version of it talking about my own experience and why I chose to date or to marry someone older than me, right, with a lot of years, an old man, a grandpa, he's not hearing me. I wanted to know if he's hearing me. I was telling them how I married a grandpa, or why I married a grandpa. Anyways, guys, so so where were we? So yes, I talked about my story and why I decided, or why I ended up, or why I've basically. So if you have not watched that video, I'll leave a link up here. I think the title is The Selfish Reason I Married an Older Man. So if you're interested, go and watch that. But today I'll be sharing what are some of the effects, because trust me, you think and a lot of women, when we go for older men, we think, oh, they are matured, they are they have a different way of thinking, they don't have time, they don't shake it, or they don't shake it, and you think that, oh, you just be balling, okay, because you're marrying matured men. Yes, they are matured, okay, so don't let me get into all of that, but I'm just saying some of you are in relationship with older men for all the wrong reasons, okay, because you believe that because he's older, this and this and this will not be a problem in our relationship. So yeah, I'm coming to bust your bubble, okay. So today we're talking about the effect, the pros and the cons of marrying or dating an older man, right? So yeah, let us get right into it. But before I get right into it, you guys know I do a shout out to my consistent commenters and /subscribers on my channel, as many who has been leaving comments. You guys know how much I appreciate your comments because they really help me to be better. Okay, all right, so today I'll be doing a shout out to Eunice Olawoye. I hope I'm correct. Is it Olawoye, babe? Is it Olawoye or Olawoye? I don't know, but I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Eunice, I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for leaving beautiful and encouraging comments. Like, you type a lot in most of my videos. You're giving in-depth insights into some of my videos, and I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll be doing other shout outs as we move on in this video. Okay, all right, so let us talk about it. Marrying an older man. So we're talking about older men. We're talking about people that, older is different for certain people, okay? It depends on your age, okay? So I'm talking about people who marry, above 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and above. Marrying someone who has significant age gap, between the two of you. For some people, 5 years is a lot, okay? 5 years is a lot for them, okay? But, depending on your age, marrying someone who has a significant age difference from you, that is regarded as older man. It doesn't mean the person has to be 50 years or 60 years or 70 years. But if there's that significant age difference, like a generational difference between you guys, yeah, like you are the 90s, like I am a 90s baby, my husband is an 80s baby, okay? So when you have that kind of gap between you, there are some of the things that you need to look out for. So let's start with the pros, okay? Let's start with the nice things that comes in marrying older men, when it comes to dating older men, okay, the number one thing, okay, for most, you know, older men, right, is that, you know, majority of them are ready to settle down. Okay, so if you're a lady who you're looking for a stable relationship, looking for something to lead to marriage, you know that most of them are not here to play around. I told you guys when I met my husband, he told me from the very first, you know, time he asked me out that, listen, I am not here to joke. I want us to date in order to get married. Okay, so majority of them, they are not playing games. They're not saying, oh, let me play around. No, they've played around. Okay, majority of them, they've played around, they've had their fun, and they are looking for someone to settle down with. Okay, so that's one of the perks of, you know, dating older men. That's the older man that is not married already. So I've already talked about, you know, dating married men. Go and watch that video to be able to know if he's married or if he's not. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to do a video about signs to know he's married. I think I'll do that in another video. But anyway, so if you're dating a single older man, right, you know, majority of them, they are dating to get married. They are not dating to play around. They are not dating to break hearts. They have done all the Yoruba demons and all the and all the playing around, you know, and they are really ready to settle down. So you won't be bothered a lot about, oh, you know, is it just wasting my time, or he wants to date you for 10 years like all these small boys wants to. They want to date you for 15 years before they now decide if you are the person they want to spend the rest of their life with. So for majority of them, it's nothing like that. They know what they want, they go for what they want, and they, you know, they grab what they want. Okay, so I think that's one of the biggest perks for, you know, dating married men. For me, I wasn't ready to get married, okay, and it was scary for me when my husband came and said, listen, this is what I want us to get married. I was like, hey, please, oh God, please calm down, okay, be calming down. But you see, you know, at the end of the day, I am grateful, you know, that happened. So yes, that is definitely one of the biggest perks of marrying, you know, an older man. Now, the next thing that I'll talk about is financial security, okay? And this is not for all older men. We'll talk about the cons, okay? It's not for all older men, okay? But for majority of men who are in their 30s, in their 40s, okay, or approaching 40s, or in their 50s or older, you know, majority of them already have their life figured out, okay? So financially, majority of them are, you know, stable, okay? They know what they want. They've already hustled. They hustle in their 20s, in their 30s, and then, you know, late 30s, early 40s. Again, it's not all of them, okay? Some people are late starters, some people are mid starters, okay? So it depends on what spectrum you find yourself. But for majority of older men, you know, they have a lot of work experience, they've hustled, so financially they are stable. It doesn't mean they are rich, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to that stability, it's not that, oh, you know, now you've gotten married, you're not sure where food is going to come from, he doesn't have a stable job, he doesn't have a stable career. In short, when you have a man in his late 30s or in his early 40s who still does not know what he wants to do with his life, that's, to me, that's a sign that something is wrong, okay? It doesn't mean that everything would have worked out or now he's balling or whatever, but at least he has his life figured out. He has a blueprint for his life. He has a plan that he's pursuing. He has a vision for his life, okay? And, you know, it's not just vision on paper, he's actually accomplishing it, okay? So majority of them at that age, they are not playing around career-wise. They know what they want. Some of them are already settled career, you know, when it comes to their career. Financially, they are stable, okay? Not necessarily like rich, okay, but they are stable. They are able to provide for themselves and provide for you, and probably provide for a child if you guys, you know, end up having one, you know, so that's also one of the perks. So imagine dating small boys, okay? Those ones that, you know, today is this one, tomorrow, you know, they've not really settled. They're not really settled. So it doesn't mean, when I say small, oh God, please forgive me, okay? When I say small boys, I mean younger men, okay? That's what I mean. Sorry, that didn't come out right. I mean dating younger men, okay? They are still trying to figure out their life. So if you end up marrying them, you guys will have to, you know, build together from the scratch, you know, and all of that. It doesn't mean that all older men, you know, some of them you still have to build with them, you understand? So yeah, anyway, so that's that. And then oh, I like this one. Okay, this one I won't emphasize too much on it because, you know, it's not for all of them, but for majority of them, okay? I'm not encouraging, you know, sex before marriage. You guys already know my stand on that, whether you're a male or you are a female, okay? But for majority of older men who are not yet married, because one thing you also know, there are categories of older men. There are older men who, you know, have been married before, maybe they are divorced. There are older men who, you know, they've never been married before. Older men who are widowers. Older men who already have children. You understand? So some of them would definitely have experience, okay, you know, depending on why they are single now, okay? And then for some of them, you know, they just happen to have, okay, well, the next point is, you know, your sex life will be interesting, okay? You guys, you know, if he has experience, whether he's been married before, whether he's a divorcee or he's a widower or whatever, or he's just a single guy who has experience, and majority of guys, like majority of them have experienced life, they've done things, you know, in that department, okay? So when you get married, okay, you have a nice, you know, especially as a woman, right? When you get married, your sex life will be great, you know, you guys would, you know, he would help you, okay? I always say that, you know, in my marriage, and again, I'm not encouraging sex before marriage if you're a guy, okay? It's beautiful for you and your wife to experience, you know, yourself together, okay? And again, remember, I always say that sex with women are different. Because it was great with this woman does not mean what ticks for her does not mean it's going to tick with your wife, okay? So that I want to get the experience before marriage. It's not, you know, you might end up getting all the experience, and for the person you end up marrying, all those experiences not working for her. You need to learn her own body. I've talked a lot about this in many of my, you know, wedding nights videos. Go and watch those, okay? But for, you know, they have more exposure, they are willing to explore more because, you know, they've been able to, you know, they have more experience, okay? And then for those who have been married before, you know, they've done it. So when you guys get married, you know, you have a great sex life. Basically, that's what I'm saying, okay? All right, let's move on. Well, another and the last pro that I'll talk about is the fact that, you know, they are mature, most of them, okay? They are mature in the way they think. You know, I always say, maturity comes with experience, okay? And it comes with, you know, it's not just age. There are a lot of people that are older with age and they are not matured, okay? Right? It comes with life experiences, okay? And your exposure. Experience and exposure is what equals maturity, okay? And for those who have lived life enough, okay, those who are matured to a certain age, those that are in their late 30s, in their early 40s or late 40s or 50s or whatever, most of them have already experienced life. They've had, you know, crazy life experiences, okay? So, you know, they are more matured in the way they handle situations, the way they handle arguments, in the way they handle, you know, circumstances or life generally, okay? So the maturity, the intelligence, the, you know, maturity in every area, okay, you would have that, you know, when dating an older man, okay, you might have that because it's not all of them. Again, age does not equal maturity, okay? Life experiences and exposure. So if you date a man who has had experiences, who has been exposed to certain things, you know, he has this, you know, he has a different way or outlook on things, okay? And, you know, it can help your relationships, okay? All right, so now let's go to the other side. Let's go to the cons, okay, of marrying or dating an older man, okay? All right. So let me just say this before I move on, that first of all, it doesn't matter if he's 16 years or he's 20 years old or he's 10 years older, whatever, right? The age gap between you is the problem, the generational gap, the way you see things, the way he sees things, that is where the problem is. So I always say this, it depends on your age, the person who is dating. You know, I always say, when you ask me, she's, you know, 20 years older than me, the first question I'll ask you, how old are you? If you are 20 and the guy is 40, there might be too much difference between the two of you. Yeah, I wouldn't advise that, because you as a 20-year-old, you have not lived, you're not matured enough to be able to handle some of the things that he'll be throwing at you. And it might get to a point, and you at 20, you are still trying to figure out your life. You're still trying to, you know, put things together to be able to, you know, figure out life generally, okay? And this person has already figured out life. There's a tendency that he'll be imposing, I think I've started talking about the cons, that you'll not have a voice of your own. He will start to impose things on you and all of that, but we'll talk about that into detail. So yes, I always say, if you're a 30-year-old woman, you're dating as a 30-year-old man, I feel like you can date 70-year-old man. Okay, you have had enough experience to be able to know that this person, like, we can work. Okay, but when you're younger, you're 20, 25, and you're dating someone that is 45, going towards 50. Hey, you want to think about it. So let's go to the cons of dating married men. Okay, so did I say married men? I meant older men. Okay. All right, so the first con is, most of them come with baggages, okay? Baggages meaning is that they've been married before, they're coming with an ex-wife, or they've been married before, they're coming with children from the previous marriage, or they've not been married before, but they have a lot of exes, and, you know, maybe they have broken their hearts several times, or, you know, yeah, majority of them come with, you know, certain kind of baggages. I've spoken about, you guys know, I'm, you know, I'm as open as I want to be in my own relationships. And I talked about when me and my husband started dating, and, you know, some of his exes that would call him out of the blue, not because there's anything going on between them again, but just, you know, yeah, for me, it wasn't okay for me, right? So imagine if he's married, if he was married to the person, you are marrying, you know, you're married into that. He will not abandon his former life because now he has a new life with you. So it might come with certain baggages, and that's something that you want to know. Is this something, am I, as a 25 or a 21-year-old woman, ready to be a mother to an 18-year-old or to a 12-year-old or to a 10-year-old, to a 1-year-old? Am I ready to take up the responsibility of being a stepmom to somebody, or to being the other wife? Okay, because no matter with the circumstances of their breakup or their divorce or their whatever, you are still the other wife. Even if the first wife died, you are still the other wife, okay? And there are certain things that comes with being the other wife. Are you willing to take it? Are you willing to bear that, okay? Are you matured enough to be a parent to, you know, the children, if in case their mother is not alive, or the father is the sole one who is taking responsibility of the kids? Are you ready to take up that, right? And if, you know, he's not been married before, he's just older and has never been married, are you ready to take up, you know, because trust me, he has dated, okay? He has exes, he has this. Are you emotionally stable enough to be able to handle that? Okay, are you emotionally stable enough, or is it emotionally stable? Are you matured enough, right, to be able to, you know, handle some of those issues that might come? Or are you stable enough to be able to tell him to draw boundaries and all of those things? You will have to figure those things out, but that's just one thing you need to take note of. There will be baggages, okay? Whether with exes, whether with ex-wives, whether with new children, they come with baggages, okay? All right. Okay, so let's move on. The next thing I have here is, hey, this one. See, when you're dating or you're getting married to someone that is older than you, hey, first of all, you need to know that they have certain mindsets, okay? Certain mindsets that they believe in, that has guided their life to where they are, okay? And you that you are coming, now let's talk about, you know, dating a man who is in his 40s, okay? And you that you're a millennial, or you are a Generation X, or which generation are we now? You know, you're coming with your TikTok and your this and your that, and you want to now, you know, drag him into that life. You are going to, there's going to be some clashes, okay? The generational difference between me and my husband is not that much, right? It's just like, yeah, it's not that much, right? But there's still certain things that, you know, I consider normal, that my husband considers like, what is wrong with you people? You understand? He said, like, you guys like problem. You understand that? So yeah, there's still some differences that are clear between the two of us, okay? So you want to also take note of that. Are you willing to handle that, okay? Because there will be, you know, clashes between his mindset. They come with a sometimes fixed mindset that they have grown up with. My husband grew up in a generation where, you know, there was no social media, there was not this, there was not that, right? Imagine a man in his 40s, in his 50s. There are lots of things that, you know, that are in vogue now that you might want to try to, you know, bring him up to speed, and he's either going to be slow or he's going to fight you. You understand, in getting there, and you need incredible amount of patience to be able to understand that it's not because he doesn't love you, it's not because he's not willing to make you feel good. It's just that this man has 35 years of his life, or 40 years of his life, 50 years of his life. This is the person he has been, and he's not going to change overnight. So there's a lot of patience. Like, you need to have incredible amounts of patience to be able to understand that, okay, he's not doing this because he hates me, it's just the way his head is wired. So how do we walk through this? Okay, so that's something. Are you willing to take that, right? You're asking, let's go out, let's do a TikTok video. Because, you know, me and Yemi, by the way, if you have not subscribed to Truth and Sales podcast, you're missing out a lot, okay? There was a lady who asked the question, like, my husband will not wear matching pajamas with me, he will not do TikTok videos. I'm like, hey, the man that I married, I've made, me and my husband, maybe we've done it a reel, maybe once or twice, and those twice, hey, God, the prayer and fasting. You cannot be comparing the man you married, that is you guys generation apart, to someone who, you know, they are both vibing in the same generation. You understand? You cannot make that comparison, okay? Because some of the things that happens now is weird to them, right? So you need to know, because yeah, their fixed mindset about life about certain things in life might be a problem. Some of them might believe in, oh, why are you friends with your children? You should be strict on them. And you know, growing up in these new times, you don't believe that that should be the way, you know, you should handle certain things. So there will be a lot of clashes, okay, because of the difference. And the higher or the more your age difference, or the more you're different, the tougher it is, okay. If it's 20 and you're 30, or he's 30 and you're 20, you can still, you know, there's still a way to, you know, try to ease him or work around things. If you're 20, he's 40, it gets tougher. If you're 20, he's 50, it gets even tougher. If you're 20, you know, if you're 30 is 60, it gets, you know, even tougher. So you understand. So the wider the age gap, the tougher it is in changing their mindset about things. And this is one thing that, you know, it will cause arguments, it will cause issues, because you are both speaking different languages, okay. So you need to understand that before you get into marriage, that listen, the age gap between us means that, you know, our mindset and, you know, our thoughts about certain things will be different. Our approach to life, okay. There are certain things I want him to do with me that he might not see it as necessary, even though I do see it that way. But it's not because he doesn't love me, it's just the way he is. So how do we work? You know, then you need to be incredibly patient. You know, try to explain to him. For my husband, you have to explain to him why we should be doing this. How is it going to benefit people? What is this? What is that? What is that? Speak his language and everything. Convince him, do this and this is convincing. Before I say, okay, yeah, let's do it. You understand? So you need to be incredibly patient to be able to, you know, go through all of that. So that's definitely one thing. If you don't get anything, that's definitely one thing that you should get, okay. Now another con that, you know, this one, me and my husband had to, you know, we still, you know, we had arguments about it, right? And it's still something that, you know, we are still doing a lot of, it requires a lot of adjustment again, is the fact that, okay, majority of the older men, they've lived their lives, their partying and wild lives, okay. So you might have issues when it comes to, okay, let's plan out fun times, take me out, let's go out on dates, let's do this, let's do that. It's work for them, because trust me, they have had their partying time, they've had their, you know, all their time to date, they've dated and overdated women and done all of that, okay. Marriage for them is a way for them to relax and settle down and not have to be chasing around young girls anymore, okay. And that might be a problem, especially when you're younger, because you want to date, you want to go out, you want to go kayaking, you want to go bowling, you want to go skiing, you want to go skydiving, you want to do all of those things. And the man, he doesn't, right now, he wants to focus on his life, focus on how to build his career, build this and that. He's not ready to go and be falling from the sky, entering into water and doing risk. He's not ready for all of those things. And then going out on dates, it's like, you know, just sit down at home, okay? Let us chill, let us do this. Because, you know, those fun times, you know, those adrenaline hormones that makes guys hyper and want to do all of those stuff. Yeah, they've done all of those stuff in the past, sadly, with other women. And, you know, they might have, let me say this, it's not all of them, because they may have done all of those things and it might be a problem for you, okay. For my husband, it was just lack of interest. You know, it's not, you know, it's not that he, you know, and for, you know, the truth is not that they don't love, it's not that they don't want to do those things, it's just, it's not a thing for them, okay. So you would have to, for me, how we're able to handle that, you know, when it comes to dating and going out and stuff, I plan them. I have to do all the planning, where we have to go, where we have to go. Why just show up, okay? Just show up and pay the bills, okay? That's all. But if you're asking them, oh, plan date nights, let us, you know, let us watch movie, they will sleep off, okay? Because the energy you have, they don't have it, okay? So let's do night movies, let's catch up with this. You know, thankfully my husband is in night bed, so that's not even a problem for us, okay? But for majority of older men, especially if the age difference is, you know, big or, you know, bigger, right? They sleep very early, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they've gone to bed. You want to go and club, you want to go and party and all of those things, and your husband cannot do all of those because he has lived his wild days. He's not ready to come and be doing all of those things now, or be doing all those somersaulting now. He's not going to do those things. So are you okay with that? Okay, before you choose to go for someone that is significantly older than you, are you okay when you see your friends going out on dates, going to the club, so to speak, with their husband, going on this, going on that, doing all those adventurous things, traveling and all of those, and your husband is saying that, oh, let's just focus on us, focus at home, let us sit down at home and all of that? Is it going to be a problem in the future? So you need to know, are you ready to be okay with that kind of lifestyle? Okay, so you need to ask yourself that. It might be doing all of those when you are dating, or the moment you get married, have that conversation and know that you are ready to do, because it doesn't mean that he's not going to change, but it will require a lot of patience from you and a lot of letting go, not getting angry, because you will get frustrated. If you want to be getting angry, well, you'll be getting angry every time. If you are waiting for him to plan the dates, you will be disappointed every time. You need to, take the initiatives and do all of those, because they will be uninterested in those things. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely something you want to take note of. Okay, another thing that I want to talk about is also the fact that, especially if you're marrying someone who is not, who is in his late 30s, early 40s, or whatever, they are trying to plan their life. They're trying to, they have like a milestone. They don't have all the time in the world. Like you that are in your 20s, you are still living life, you are still bowling, you are still doing this and that. They know that they don't have a lot of time, so they're trying to work hard and work hard and work hard. So the consequence of that is they won't have time for you, or they might not have a lot of time for you, for all the outing and all of that. So that's something you want to figure out. Okay, if he's in his late 30s, in his early 40s, and he's a serious-minded person, okay, they are focused on, oh, I want to establish a business, I want to do this for my family, especially if he hasn't done that in his 20s. Okay, I want to ensure that my children have stability, they have this and that. They are focused on stability. So that will mean that you might have to sacrifice a lot of the, you want to go out, spend on fashion, buy clothes of this amount. It's going to be asking, why are you buying this clothes? Why is this needed? You understand? You want to live baby girl life, and they'll be asking you, is it necessary? You get? So you want to check it. Is this something that I can live with? Is this something that is going to be a problem, especially if you're a person that likes to splurge and all of that, and he's not financially buoyant enough to be able to accommodate your lifestyle? You want to find out, or you want to ask yourself, is this something that I want to get into? However, if he's financially there and he's sending you money, he wants to live a bigger life, yeah, the money will be there, but having him come with you to travel, to do all of that, you might not have that, because again, interest is not just there, because their mind is focused on stability, it's focused on building a home, building a family, leaving legacy for their children. I mean, the serious-minded ones. Okay, so in contrast, if you're dating someone that is younger, you guys will still have to live life, go out, all of those, it's like a routine for you guys, right? It doesn't mean though that because you're married now, you shouldn't make efforts in dating your partner. That shouldn't be the case. Okay, I'm just saying that these are some of the things that you should be on the lookout for. Yeah, the other con is also what I mentioned in the pro when it comes to sexual experience. Talking about fixed mindset again, some of the older men they have a fixed mindset about the bedroom. Okay, the man should be on top, the wife should be under. They come with certain fixed mindsets, and it can affect your sex life. Okay, so you want to have conversations and be sure that you are good with it. Okay, or they are willing to compromise on certain things in the bedroom, because trust me, if that area is lacking, anyways, yeah. And then another con in that area could also be that because they have so much experience and you probably don't, okay, especially if you're marrying them a virgin or whatever, you might have issues when it comes to satisfying their needs. Okay, because they've been exposed, they've been doing this thing and whatever, and you are not. You might, the sexual appetite might be a problem. Okay. Yeah, so you want to be sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Younger guys also, they have the appetite, but you two, you are young, you guys can explore and do all of that. But the con could be that is no longer. So the con is 3. The first one is the fixed mindset, which I've already explained. The second one is the fact that you might not be able to keep up with his appetite. The third is he might not be able to keep up with your appetite. Again, depending on the gap between the two of you, if he's in his 50s or in his late 40s or in his 60s or whatever, and you are young blood, hey, think about it, Rodada, think about it very well. You might end up being sexually frustrated because you will not come and die because of you, because he wants to satisfy your sexual needs. Okay, so the older he is, the less functionality, okay, or the less acrobatic move you guys can do. Okay, so you want to be sure that you know what you're getting into. Okay, so yeah, have that conversation with yourself, with him, and know if this is something that you're willing to accept, if you're willing to live with it. Okay, because if sexually frustrated woman or man is not going to make up a happy marriage. Okay, so that's definitely a con to it. Okay, so those are 3 sexual cons that you need to take note of. Another con that to me I don't care. But for some of you that, you know, the opinion of people, you care about the opinion of people, right? Is that, you know, you might have certain criticisms, or might have to deal with a lot of critics about your relationship. Oh, she's with him because of his money. Oh, she's with him because no young man can marry her. Oh, she's with him because this. She's with him because she has daddy issues. She's with him. You know, people are going to talk. Okay, so you must be able to anticipate that and be able to, you know, I mean, not let that have any effect on you. Okay, because people will say nonsense about you, especially if the person is significantly older and is wealthy. They might say that is the reason why you're with him. So yeah, you want to anticipate it, and, you know, be sure that that is not going to affect your mental health. Okay, because that is very, very important. Okay, all right. Now the next thing is, you guys might not have a lot of things in common, a lot of things to talk about. Okay, because, you know, I am interested in Kim Kardashian and whatever, and he is interested in, you know, Asian things or politics. See, the difference between the two of you might come as a clash. Okay, but I think you can use that to work. You know, that can be a pro for you, because then you teach him new things, you know, but he has to be open to, you know, learning or listening, right? And then he will teach you things that you didn't even know, because that's what happens in my marriage. I bring up something, and my husband said, "What was all this?" And then he will say something, I'll be like, "What was all that?" You understand? And then we learn from each other, and it's a way of bonding for the two of us. Okay, so yeah, that might be an issue for you, right? It's something that you should definitely anticipate. Okay, and then the last thing that I have here is your goals in life might be different. Okay, his goal in life might be just to, like I said, have a stable legacy for his children, you know, be settled financially, and your own goal in life at this moment is to start to build your career. I was talking initially about the fact that, because talking about how old you are, how matured you are, because trust me, before you decide to marry an older man, you yourself, you have to have certain kind of maturity to be able to handle the baggages and the things that comes with dating an older man. Because if you're a person that you don't have your mind, and that's why I always discourage people who are 20 and they want to marry someone that is 15, 20 years older. No, if you're 25, you want to marry someone who is like 20 years older than you, 15 years older than you, and nothing is wrong with it. You can, if you are matured enough. Okay, remember I talked about maturity, exposure, and experience. If you have enough experience in life and you have been exposed enough, okay, you know, that could work. But for majority of people in their 23, 25, 20, you are just beginning to see, you're just beginning to, you know, you're just beginning to start your life. Okay, so there's a tendency that he has lived his life, he has been experienced with his own generational issues, right? He already thinks this is the way life is, and so there's a tendency that most of the decisions you are making, they are not your decisions anymore, they are his decision. He'll be controlling. Okay, he'll be controlling you, controlling your decision, controlling what you need to do, and you'll be forced to listen to him, because number one, he's your husband now, number two, he's older than you, and you always think, oh, he's wiser than you, so you end up not taking risk, you end up not doing certain things that you want to do. One of the things I told you guys that made me marry my husband was like, he supports me 100%, okay, because he knows me to an extent. Before I decide to make a decision, it's something I've thought about. Okay, so he never holds me back, but it's not the same for a lot of older men. Okay, they might want to help you to plan your life so that it can blend with their own life. Okay, and because the two of you have different goals, different things you're pursuing, it's going to be a problem for you. You might end up not being able to pursue the career you want to pursue or do the things that you want to do, because it might be controlling you. Okay, that's why I say you must be a person that have a mind of your own. You have a plan, you have a goal for your life, you know what you want to do, and you have a mind of your own, right? Doesn't mean that, you know, you impose your thoughts on him, but you guys are able to have matured conversation, and he's not the person that is controlling or that shuts you up, that holds you down, or that, you know, wants to impose his will on you. Yeah, you need to make sure that you're not in with that kind of, you know, you're not involved in that kind of toxicity. Okay, all right. Okay, so I guess this is where I'm going to, you know, close the curtain. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, please make sure you leave a thumbs up. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and please share this video. You never can tell who in your timeline might need to watch this video. Okay, all right guys, I'll be waiting to read your comments. Thank you once again for joining me. Until we meet again, my name is Victoria Ayodele Fash, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye. Bye.